bitch! What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Thunderbite29 here, and yep, I'm back today with another video. And welcome to my final rant video on Chapter 3, Season 3. As we are now officially less than 1 week away from the end of Chapter 3, Season 3. Ah, thank God. Until the very next season, Chapter 3, Season 4. But as we are now coming to an end of this season, I just wanted to make this video and reflect on everything that had happened for the past 3 to 4 months. And just overall make a video and talk about why I think this season was so awful. Mostly boring in my opinion. So today, we are going to cover on nearly everything of why this season was so awful. So without further ado, let's begin, shall we? So let's start with reason number 1, and I'm pretty sure most of you know what it is. The loophole and the items. It's no surprise, and it's not a secret, that more than half this loophole was completely trash. But there was only one thing about this loophole that was actually decent, and the only thing I really could not complain about, and that was the ARs. I actually thought the ARs were pretty okay. They were not overpowered or underpowered. They did pretty decent damage, and they were pretty decent guns. So that's the only thing about this loophole I really couldn't complain about. But for most of the other stuff, don't even get me started. Most of this I've already went through, like for example, the shotguns are still mostly trash, as they'd always been for most of the season. The striker pump is literally the most useless pump shotgun that we've ever had in this game, as it's been for like the past few seasons now. The only shotgun this season that was actually okay was the prime shotgun that we got in the summer update. The snipers I'm still mixed about, because the heavy sniper is pretty much trash. It was actually worse than what it was last season, but the DMR was actually an okay sniper that did pretty decent damage. Meanwhile, the SMGs were pretty much the same as they'd always had been since the beginning of Chapter 3, broken and overpowered. Well, that's how it is with the Stinger SMG now, and with the Combat SMG, which of course they removed in the middle of the season, which I was very happy that they did. But I was not happy with the gun that they replaced it with, because we come from a overpowered SMG to literally a useless SMG, which was the Charge SMG. And let me tell you, this gun has arguably got to be the worst gun Fortnite has ever put into their game. I don't know who the hell thought this would be a good idea to put a Charge Mythic on a machine gun when its purpose is to just keep your finger on the trigger and to keep pressure on your opponent. And because of the damn Charge Mythic, it takes like a million years just to be able to shoot the damn thing. This gun needs to be taken out of the game, not just put in the vault. It needs to be thrown in a fucking dumpster fire. Because this gun is so bad, it's so useless. Everyone pretty much knows that. That's why you see nobody use it. Meanwhile, you still have the same old healable items that you've had for like the last 2 or 3 seasons now, along with your typical bandages, shields, and medkit. Like, one thing that they could do next season, maybe replace the chug splashes with a slurp juice, like, or even a chug jug. Like, see, something like that would actually be cool, and that would actually be a really good change up. And last but not least, you also had the Ripsaw launcher, which I almost forgot. In my opinion, I think it's decent. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not that good either. And reason number 2, the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass has been so awful, it's actually starting to become forgotten. I won't even be surprised, like, if we get to the end of Chapter 3 and this Battle Pass starts to become forgotten, because literally, you can almost tell from it as of right now, because nobody really cares about this Battle Pass. Nobody really cares about all the other stuff that they put in this Battle Pass, like the other skins or those cringy, stupid TikTok emotes, which is just as cringe as my ex-girlfriend. There's only one thing in the Battle Pass that a lot of people care about, and there's only one skin in the Battle Pass that people actually wear, and that is the Darth Vader skin, which is honestly the only good skin in the Battle Pass, because of course, How could you screw up Darth Vader? But there's only one problem that I have with it, and that is every time that they put a crossover in the Battle Pass, it's always a tier 100 skin or it's a secret skin. It's even gotten to the point where people are starting to get tired of crossovers taking over the tier 100 skin. Like what my good friend LAZIEST had said. These crossovers should just be put in the item shop, and battle passes should be saved for original skins only. Or if you're going to include a crossover in a battle pass, make it a tier 1 skin, but you make a really good skin for tier 100 with a bunch of additional edit styles. Like something like that would be good for a battle pass. That's one thing that made battle passes great in the first place. But overall, I still think this battle pass is shit. And even some Chapter 2 battle passes were better than this. And reason number 3, the item shop. Of course, the item shop has always been bad, but for some reason, this season, it was a lot more trash. I mean, of course, for the most part, it's been the same shit like it's always been. Like, for example, they'll add in a sweat skin, and then they'll bring it back a few weeks later, or 1 month later. And on top of that, they spam collabs again. Which, of course, that's also another thing that they've been doing for the past several seasons now. I mean, this item shop has just been so fucking boring. I made more videos complaining about this season's item shop than I did in any other season. Hell, even the YouTuber iTalk, who always talks about Fortnite item shops, did not like this season's item shops as much. Most people really did not care about this item shop as much. The only thing that came from the item shop this season that people actually cared about was the Dragon Ball Z collabs. Does anyone remember during one day in the summer when Fortnite tried to add in a bunch of old OG items back into the item shop for the first time since Chapter 1? That's going to take me to reason number 4, and that is, this season was so fucking boring. Like, for most of the season, they've given us literally nothing at all. The only things that they've been able to keep up with is updating the map and spamming crossovers. Those are the only two things. Everything else, it's just been literally filled with nothing. The loophole is still shit. We've gotten barely any content. I don't know if you guys could tell, but there was a lot of moments during the summer where you can tell Epic was literally desperate. Like, they were scrambling for anything. Like, for example, that OG item shop I had mentioned. And also, they brought in a bunch of OG items during the summer update. And even the summer event was literally basically a copy and pasted version of the event that they did back in Chapter 1, Season 9. It was literally exactly the same. Even though it was nice to see some of those items like the Portafort, just because they did that, that doesn't mean your loophole is better. It's still boring like it's always been. Like, why didn't they add the Scar or the pump shotgun? Why don't they add those back into the game instead of pointless items that nobody gives a shit about? And they finally bring back the Scar and the suppressed SMG on the second to last week of the season, but they decided to take it out on the last week of the season. Like, that is just embarrassing. Meanwhile, the Dragon Ball Z update was pretty much the only update people actually cared about. Well, in my opinion, I think it was okay. The only thing about it I really did not like was those overpowered mythics. Like, those mythics were so annoying. I mean, I get it. Dragon Ball Z is mostly known for having overpowered mythics, but they could at least, like, weaken them a little bit, because this is just making the mythics more overpowered than the Marvel mythics from Chapter 2, Season 4. But other than that, I actually thought it was a decent event. I do understand the fact that they took a 3-week break during the summer, which I understand because everyone needs a break at some point. But even then, they could have still made these updates a little bigger to keep us occupied in the meantime. And the final reason why this season was so bad was the third partying. And I understand this is not Epic's fault. There's really nothing Epic can do. The third partying, for some reason, was so bad, and I don't understand why it was so bad. Like, for example, I play like 30 games. 28 of those games, I die because of third partying. Like, I don't understand why it has gotten so bad this season. But there was one thing Epic could have done to maybe reduce the amount of third partying, and that is get rid of the skill-based matchmaking system. Like, once again, this is a mechanic that literally destroys games. This mechanic only belongs in a competitive game mode, not in the casual game. But overall, this season has just been so fucking terrible, mostly boring. I mean, it's been so boring. I have been absent for more than half the season, which doesn't usually happen. Especially when you have a shit loophole, shit item shops, massive third partying, and barely any content. This season was just so boring, so awful. There's been a lot of times throughout the season I was debating if this season was worse than Chapter 2 Season 6. But I'll let you guys decide in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video or if you agree with me, please like this video, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and click the bell if you do not want to miss another video. I apologize for the lack of content, but I appreciate your guys' patience. I love you guys. You all are the best. As we are now closing in on 5,060 subscribers. I love you all to death, and thank you all so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And until next time, I will see you all in the next video. And this is Thunderbite29, sign off.